Perfect. Well, thanks so much for joining today. This is an information session all about PAC. We do want to make sure to cover as many questions as possible that do come up, but we're also here to help after today's call, so don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so let's just dive right in here. I will just go over a quick agenda. So we will talk about PAC, the certifications that are available, also the requirements for those certifications, and also when and how you can register. And like I said, leave some time for some questions at the end. So PAC is a great organization. I'm a little biased since I've been on the board of directors here for 6 years, but we're a group of amazing individuals from the pet care industry and a couple of pet parents like myself. So our board does currently consist of 9 members coming from different parts of the industry. And our board usually, well, it can have up to 11 members per year, and we're soon going to be announcing our nomination process for this year, so look out for that. But our board of directors is pretty much who runs PAC as an organization. So we are all volunteers. It's a working board, so it is a big time commitment, but we're all very close and love, contributing to this organization since it's very near and dear to all of our hearts. Myself, I'm a pet parent, as I mentioned before, who's been on the board for this is my 6th year. And I will continue to, be involved with PAC as much as I can after my board term. So our board terms are 3 years at a time, and I've done 2 now, and that's kind of the maximum, unfortunately. But like I said, lots of great board members, and we have Amy on the call as well, who's our board chair, and Nicole, who is our secretary and the head of our CEU committee. So thanks for the support, ladies, for joining today's call. So lots of people here to basically help in any way that we can. If you do have questions that come up about PAC, about the certification process, all of it. So when you do reach out to us, whether it is through email, our social media accounts, you'll hear from one of these people that are listed here. All right, so PAC's mission is all about bringing independent testing and certification to the pet care industry. So we are third party and independent. So we don't actually offer education or training ourselves. And that's really what differentiates us from other certification providers in the pet care industry. And those who do decide to take the test, if they pass, then they will have a certification that lasts for 3 years. It does require certain upkeep items. If you do want to, keep it going after the 3-year period, then we do require continuing education units and some other things. There we go. I think we just had someone else join. Hi, Roxanne. Thanks so much for joining. Feel free to ask questions as we go through the chat, or just feel free to interrupt me. So we do have a set of core values that we like to stand behind, and everyone in the board really is committed to these core values, which are humane pet care and animal welfare and our code of ethics. So we do have a humane pet care statement that we must abide by and agree to act with honesty, fairness, and integrity. And we provide services without discrimination. So this is really what PAC is all about. And you can read about our history on our website. And like I said, let us know if you have any questions. But I just wanted to give a kind of a brief introduction about PAC and what we've been up to the last few years. So moving on to, there we go. Not used to presenting in Canva here. There we go. And onto the actual types of certifications. I know a lot of questions come up through our email channels and social media channels on this. So I do want to spend some time on this because people are often wondering, what is the best fit for them when it comes to the type of certification that they should kind of pursue. So we have 3 levels, and I don't really like to call them levels. They're just 3 different certifications. It just depends on your current level of involvement with the animals and the business. So for the pet care provider one, this is really for anyone who is in charge of handling the daily care of animals and overseeing the aspects of the animal's well-being. So this could be a groomer, a pet sitter, and it has to be someone who is professionally, paid for this type of work. But lots of people actually will start their PAC journey with the provider exam, and then if they do move into other areas of their pet care business, then they may take on another one. But the provider is our, most popular, I guess, our most certified professional. It's the certification that we offer that has the most certified professionals at the moment. And then the manager. So this individual is in charge of the daily operation of the business. So they really know everything about the customer service that's taking place at the business, but also know a lot about animal health, behavior, the safety of the pets and staff, and human resources. And you will notice on our website, we do have different sections that I'll show you in a moment, actually, that talk about each certification type in more detail. And it also discusses the different types of questions that you may expect if you do decide to take one of those exams. The operator, this person is typically the owner of the business, but not necessarily, it just depends, but they are the one that's in charge of the overall operation. And they're also involved quite a bit with the community. So they're really advocating, taking their community to the next level. And just like I said, yeah, really all about the humane treatment of animals. So these are the 3 types of certifications. I'll stop for a second. Does anyone have any questions? Thanks for joining, Sammy. Sammy's another great board member of ours. She joined this year. We love her.
Sorry for the late cup.
Oh, no problem. As I mentioned, and Roxanne, you probably didn't hear this, I want to make sure that this is as interactive as possible. So if you do have questions through the chat or just interrupt me, let me know. It's certainly not a formal presentation. So we just want to be here and help in any way we can. All right, so the requirements for the certification, and in the handbook that we have, which is also located on our website, and I'll show that in a moment, it talks about the requirements for each individual certification. So sometimes that can help guide people in deciding which one is appropriate for them. So the education experience does really vary depending on that certification, and especially if you are looking to take the manager or the operator one, it requires a certain minimum number of hours. So we get a lot of questions from people who are interested in the operator one, but maybe they haven't started their business yet. And I always encourage those individuals, if once they get some of that hands-on experience with the animals, you can certainly start with the provider one, but it does take some time. Where we are a third-party certification provider, we're essentially certifying people based on the experience, them proving their knowledge of their pet care knowledge. So you do need the minimum of these hours that are listed here, or years when it comes to the operator level. So definitely let us know if you have any questions, though, about the requirements. And the big differentiator for the operator, aside from the number of years of experience, is that it is required that you are involved in an association related to pet care, or are participating in some sort of ongoing community service. Great. I don't think we have any questions so far on the chat, but feel free to chime in, like I said, if anyone has.
I do have a quick question on that membership. Is it specific memberships that you guys have a list, like you have to be a member of a certain one of these, or can we say, hey, I'm a member of something that's out of something and that still works?
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. And we're not, I guess, picky in the sense that you need to be part of a set list of organizations or associations or anything like that. So when you're going through the application process, we're certainly open to whatever it means. I know everyone has different associations and such that they're involved with in their local communities, or even international communities like Sammy. So, certainly whatever experience that you have in that, we're happy to hear about.
Okay, and then same for community service. Does it have to be pet related necessarily, or it's just we're actively volunteering? That works too, no matter what it is?
That is also a great question. So when it comes to, if you are working with some sort of pet association, it can be that or the community service. But
Okay.
if you don't have that tie into a pet association, then the community service, actually, I'm not sure. Amy, do you happen to know if it's required for it to be a pet care related community service?
It's not required. It can be pet care, like dog walking or fostering, or it could be something like donating school supplies to your kid's school or donating blood or things like that. So it doesn't have to be pet related.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm still learning the answers to questions even after 6 years as the pet parent too, where I didn't actually take the exams. It's taken me a little bit more time than people who have taken them to go through the process of understanding all the little details. But that's what's great about having an entire board full of this knowledge. Any other questions? And welcome, Kristen. Thanks for joining. All right. So when and how to register for the exam, this is where I do want to just jump into our website here to show. So I'm going to there we go. Hopefully everyone can see this okay. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. So on our website, when you go to the Pet Cares Pro section, there is an exam information area, and this outlines the steps that are required to register for an exam. But at the top, it indicates exam dates. And so PAC offers exams during 3 periods per year. And we have registration deadlines for this. And this is because our tests are proctored through a company separate from PAC. So we hire an organization called the Professional Testing Corporation, or PTC for short. And they're an organization that specializes in delivering and proctoring tests for different types of organizations. So when you do have to register and pay your fee to take our exam, that's the majority of that money is actually going to this company. And that is because we are a third party and we do need to kind of remove ourselves from that process. So PTC handles all of the registration. So you will see things linked to their websites and their resources through this page. But these 3 exam periods that PTC offers to take the exams, we will be updating with 2025 dates, which is kind of crazy soon. So you'll be able to see those. And then we do have 1 registration date that's still available for this year. And the deadline for that is October 9th. So that's something to be mindful of. And so you would be able to take and register for an exam during the November 9th to 23rd period for that exam period. And we have a lot of resources available as well. There's a study group that we have on Facebook if you haven't yet joined, and there are a lot of historical posts in that. So if you kind of scroll through, you'll see lots of great content from our different kind of certified professionals and study group moderators that have shared over time. And so I'd certainly recommend for everyone to check that out. We also have practice tests available, and that's also something that you can access through the links on our website and is kind of handled by the Professional Testing Corporation. And some other great resources listed on that when you click on that prep resources button. But I just wanted to stop here and see if anyone does have any questions about the exam dates. Good. Oh, thanks for joining, Erin. And something to note as well is the Professional Testing Corporation is currently going through a transition with their system. So I know some people have been having issues trying to register for the fall exam period. This is something that we're aware of, and we obviously apologize for any inconvenience, because obviously if you want to schedule that exam sooner than later, it is very inconvenient not being able to, but that should be up and running soon. And always feel free to reach out to us through social media or to the info@paccert.org email address, and we can keep you on our list to keep you updated on when those changes have been completed. So if you are experiencing issues registering for that exam period, we can keep you posted. All right. So picking the exam that's right for you, we've talked already a little bit about that, but I mentioned how you can go on our site and click through the different areas, and each of these will provide more details on that specific exam. And then going through the registration process. So we've already talked about when you can register and how, but to go through these details, I do want to spend some time kind of walking through this because this is a lot of the times where our questions come from. So the handbook I referenced earlier, this is a really great resource to read through pretty much all of the details when it comes to the proctoring and what to expect. So this is something that we work with the professional testing company. It gives you all of the details. You can see here about what to expect if you are choosing to take the test in person versus virtual. You have those options, which is great. And it also gives you the content outlines for each of those in here too. So lots of information that is helpful there. So once you've had a chance to really review that handbook and you decide to proceed with registration, you would want to check and see if you decide to take the test in person, if there is a location that is nearby to you. Some people live in places where there are several, others, may need to drive a little bit. So that may change your decision on how you take the test. So you can click on this button and you're able to go through the professional testing company's kind of parent company, which is Prometric, and it will take you to that queue. I've actually never seen this happen before, but apparently this might be part of their new process of, or like the integration, all the issues that they're experiencing maybe in trying to move over to that new system. So normally you can go through this link and see what locations are available to you by inputting an address and also see the dates that are available. And it's just a good idea to do that before you go through the registration process, just to make sure that you have kind of decided, all right, I do really want to go at this time, at this date. And we encourage you also that since there are a limited number of seats at these testing facilities, because the testing facilities are also offering tests for various other organizations, then you want to make sure once you have that confirmation that you are registered to go ahead and book that, and those directions will be given by the professional testing company in the email that they send once your registration is complete. So they will direct you to go ahead and book that. So we just encourage you to do that as soon as possible, just to make sure that you do get the testing date that you are interested in. All right, any questions so far? And then once you go to the registration process, you can fill out your personal information. It is very important that you use the information that is on your ID. So whatever that ID may be, because this is something that you will need to show at the testing facility or even through the virtual proctoring option, just to validate that you are you. So that's something that's really important to note. Great. And the prep resources that I referenced before, just because I do want to make sure everyone's fully aware of those. I mentioned the practice exams, the study group, and then we have some resources here. Seems like a very daunting long list, but they're just meant to be used as a guide. Current certified professionals that have mentioned to us that these resources were very helpful to them when they were studying. And we get asked a lot about, what should we study? And so we have included them here for each exam type, provider, manager, and operator. So you can check those out here, but it's certainly not required for you to go and buy all of these or anything like that. Typically we find that those who have been working in the industry for some time usually already have a lot of that knowledge, but a good way to check to see if you do have any information gaps is by taking that practice exam. It will kind of show you and highlight those areas that you could spend more time studying on if you so choose. And we've also heard of people who are trying to get various members of their teams certified. So they'll take kind of the practice exams as groups. Like there's lots of ideas here, and you'll see some of those ideas and such on our study group too, which is on Facebook. All right. I think that was everything I had from an information standpoint. It was a lot, so I appreciate everyone listening to me through all of this. Does anyone have any questions though? Well, like I said, feel free to reach out. I'm going to just switch back here to my slides. We have a lot of ways to reach out. So whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, through our website, you can see contact information such as our email address, which is info@paccert.org here. And one of us will be happy to reach out or respond if there are any questions. But if that's it for today, yeah, we just really appreciate everyone's time and your commitment to pet care and wellness of the pets that are in your care. I say this a lot to different people that I speak to, but it really does warm my heart as a pet parent on the board of directors for PAC when people are taking their commitment to pet care to this level. It's really amazing. So on behalf of all the pet parents out there, we really appreciate it. So thanks everyone for your time today. And if that's it, then I think we're good to go. And I'll post this recording so everyone has it. If you're not currently following us on any of those social media channels, I encourage you to do so you can also access the recording in case you did miss the first part. Great.
Thanks,
Well,
Tara.
have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Bye.